Is violence the answer when it comes to domestic situations? So, did you catch the Oscars last night? Chris Rock, Will Smith, things got a little bit heated, things got a little bit hectic, and there was some violence there. So, is that the answer? What would lead a man who got up on stage a little bit later because he won the award for Best Actor, Best Male Actor, and he said, I want to be an example of love? You just smacked a man in the face for talking smack. Are you mental? Let's break that down. Hey guys, Jeremy here, your mindset mastery and peak performance relationship guy and domestic violence, right? Relationship violence, interpersonal violence. It's a part of reality. It's a part of the way the world is, unfortunately. But is it warranted? When you have a person who is using their mouth and so you take physical action, legally, that's not a great course, right? So let's break down real fast. Assault. Assault is when somebody uses their words to threaten you with physical violence and you believe them, right? They are threatening your physical safety and you believe it's a credible threat. That's assault. And then battery. Battery is when somebody actually physically touches you. That's awesome. I broke the camera. When someone actually physically touches you without permission or without consent. And yeah, you want to talk to a lawyer in whatever legal situation you're in, of course. But assault and battery, it's why you never threaten someone then beat them up. Just beat them up, one less charge. But the idea of assault and battery, they are there as legal protections to keep us physically safe. Now, in this situation, it's 2022. Chris Rock was taking shots at Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, all love and respect to Jada, to Chris, to Will. I don't know any of them personally, but I also have alopecia. Now, it hasn't affected me a huge amount. I've got some, I don't know if you can see them, but I've got like spots back here I've had for a long time and they won't go away. And sometimes there's a fluid buildup and you can kind of clean the fluid out, but it's just, I have these little couple of like 5 or 6 little dots on the back of my head. They're there. And I don't care. It just is. I don't have a lot of pride or ego tied up in my hair. I'm not saying Jada does either. But if it's a sensitive issue for her, it's a sensitive issue for her. And if Chris knew that and still took shots, like, dude, that's not okay. That's mean. That's cruel. That's petty, right? Taking someone's physical whatevers and making insults about it. Like, that's just low class, okay? So he definitely owes an apology on that, my opinion. But he's also a comedian, so he gets paid to be outrageous and to provoke people and push the envelope, right? So it is a messy, messy, complicated situation. And of course, it's all Hollywood. So they're all paid entertainers. What's real? What's an act? What is getting fans and fads? And what's getting noticed? Because there's no such thing as bad publicity. Because if they're talking about you, they're still talking about you. And so it's messy. Now, on the other side, there is some history here with Jada and Chris because he has taken shots at her back, I believe, in 2016. He was talking some smack and he got warned off of that. Like, hey, not okay. Don't do that. So he was put on notice. And then he thought it was cool. He could take that shot. Consequences are what they are. See, I'm a realist. I don't live in the world of woulda, coulda, shoulda. I live in the world of is. This is what happened. What are we going to do about it? Was Will Smith justified in smacking Chris on stage while he's doing a job? Hard to say. What I can tell you is I watched the clip and Will, the G.I. Jane comment was made and Will was laughing, but Jada was not. And I suspect he looked over and saw that his wife was not amused by this, and that's when he changed his demeanor. Now we know there's tension in their marriage, right? The whole entanglements thing and their open relationship, maybe not an open relationship. So there's some complexity and hearts are involved. I've seen rumors that the two of them are getting divorced and then other rumors that they're not getting divorced. So the whole situation is just messy AF. But it comes down to Will Smith took a course of action. He decided, based on the look on his wife's face, he got up, he walked across the stage, and could have grabbed Chris by the neck, got in real close and leaned into his ear and said, hey, don't do that. That's not cool. Right? Will Smith doesn't have a reputation for being a dangerous guy like, I don't know, say Suge Knight, who, founder of Death Row Records, in jail for a reason. You don't mess with Thug, with Suge, right? Suge Knight was definitely definition of Thug. Like, he was a scary, scary man. Very big, very powerful. And, in some cultures you would call him he's a knucklehead, right? Because he's gonna act the fool, because don't step to him, don't disrespect him. That's not Will's personality. That's not how he presents himself. That's not his reputation. But this is a man who in the last year and a half has been through the emotional ringer, right? His marriage up and down, the entanglements, he got hit crying, being on the edge of tears, got turned into a meme. He's been lampooned, he's been ridiculed, people have made fun of Jada and her hair. So there's a lot of little boxes that are getting ticked, tick, 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 tick. And as those boxes stack up, boom, right? It's like, don't slap me in the face and spit on me and then get mad when I fight back or when I swing back. And maybe Will was mad at somebody else and Chris was the straw that broke the camel's back, and that's like, he snapped. And here he is, instead of the conversation being about his award and being, a successful actor who's being recognized for his talent and his ability, it's all about, oh, he slaps, who slapped who. And I'm contributing to that conversation too. But this matters because men are challenged all the time. Don't be this, don't be that, don't be too much of whatever. And I've got friends that are conversating on this, and it's like, some women are like, that was the way a man should be, and some men are like that, and some people are like, violence is never ever the action. Some people say words over violence, and he used his words, you should have used your words. All the woulda, coulda, shouldas, right? And there are a million different points of view on this, and I'm not saying right or wrong, but I will say, in your intimate relationship, your connection with your significant other, your connection with your wife, like, that matters. And to her, right, to Jada, was Will's actions warranted or not? Did he earn respect with her, from her, for her? Are the two of them in a more solid place? Was his actions congruent? Was she a little bit of embarrassed that he did that, but also slightly thrilled and proud that he claimed ownership of their relationship? And what a way to step in and step up. That's on them. What I would offer to you is this: there's an idea of living at effect, and there's the idea of living at cause. Living at cause, I happen to life. Living at effect, life happens to me. And whatever pushed Will to that moment to take the actions he did, that was somebody that, from my experience and my perspective, 27 years working with people, that was somebody living more at effect than living at cause. Emotions were high, intelligence goes low, he felt violated, his wife was hurt, he took action. Whether it was a good action or a bad action, he didn't step back. And he wrote a book recently and talked about how he always felt like he was a coward. That may be filtering into this whole moment to step in, and this is the moment to define myself. People are messy. People are complicated. Life is messy. Life is complicated. May none of us ever be in a situation where our wives and the entanglements and our marriage and all these different things are being pushed and pulled in so many different directions, and we're questioning our values and we're questioning our integrity. We question what's real. We got to be careful on that. And may we never be in that place. That would be my best advice. And if you would like to discuss this further, if you'd like to actually work on this whole mindset of living at cause instead of living at effect, I would love to have you come check out the Unstoppable Masculine Community. It is a private men's group where we unpack things like this. And we talk about what it means to be a protector and to be a provider and to show up. How do we step into the moment and own the moment, but not tear people down? Right? And let me see. I got a comment says, I think this whole thing was staged. The Oscar viewership has been declining for a long time, so this may have been a hoax. Chris Rock is not pressing charges. The Oscars are rehearsed. If this was to happen, it should have happened before that. If it had been Joe Rogan, I'm sure it would have played out differently. Yeah, I made the comment about Suge Knight. Last week, the Biden admin got a huge hit when the laptop I go was confirmed to be legitimate, so the powers that be created a distraction. Yeah, I don't know if this is a false flag. I think that's way too many threads to weave together necessarily. Like I said earlier, though, it is Hollywood, and who's to know and who's to say? It could have been staged. I don't think so, because Jada's reaction on camera, that was a woman who looked like she was insulted, and it hurt her feelings. And, should Will sit back and let Jada take issue with Chris? I don't know. When Will said, keep my wife's name out of your mouth, was he talking specifically to Chris, or was he talking to all of Hollywood? Was he talking to the world? I don't know. It's hard to look inside someone's heart and to make the measure of their soul. But what I can tell you is there are boxes that are stacking up. And put enough pressure, anybody would explode. Put enough pressure on someone, anybody would be in that position. There's ways to create the right leverage to make anybody explode. And so it's just a bad situation all around. And I hate that. that it's like this. But we need these sort of moments to go, okay, this is a teachable moment. Let's unpack this and let's learn from this, rather than, you know, point fingers and point blame, right? There's a lot of conversations that are happening today because of what happened. You know, is this interpersonal violence, is this okay? So I'd love to hear more of your thoughts. You can leave comments down below, and definitely come, we'll put the link in, but definitely come check out the Unstoppable Masculine community. It is a very interesting group, and we have a live call once a week doing Q&A, plus there's weekly content, weekly themes that go in as well. So you guys make it a fantastic day, and I will see you when I see you. Bye. Where's the button?